Hi, this is Rick with freedfromwork.com, and my goal is to help you find freedom and flexibility wherever you work. Hey, this is Rick. I'm glad you stopped by today. Some of you may be looking at starting up an online business, or you've already started a website and you're wondering what to sell. I just wanted to run you through a few things today of how I go about finding things and working through the process of actually writing an article. So here it goes, and the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is starting with Google Trends and looking what's the big thing out on the market, what people are talking about. So here we are at Google Trends, and this is some of the latest things that are going on, and if you can find something that's hot and interesting to people, then you're going to have a heads up and an advantage, and maybe be able to sell, be more productive in what you sell. And so anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scroll down and look at some of these topics. A lot of these things actually don't interest me, but even sometimes when they don't interest me, there may be something that I still might be willing to look at selling. But as I go down here, one of the things I saw just recently, and I'm going to come back to, in fact, here it is right here, number 10, the NCAA tournament. And that's going to be hot and heavy this month in March. So that gives me an idea of, maybe something to do with selling something that has to do with the tournament. So now that that's got my attention, well, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to Google and what we call Google Instant. So here we are, just open up a web page, and the first thing you do is type in something you're interested in. So I'm going to start with March Madness. So I just typed it in here and did return several things on the tournament. But one of the things that I do a lot is I'll use what we call the alphabet soup technique. So I've already typed March Madness in, and I'm going to, you can see some of the things that have already come up here though. Actually, March Madness, it talks about brackets, tickets, lyrics, things like that. None of those are really things that I can sell. So I'm going to space and put an A in. And you can do this for everything. You could put B, like some things here, basketball books, March Madness books. Keep on going on through the alphabet. C, D, you just work your way all the way through the alphabet. But what happened was here, when I first typed in A, I saw something that really interested me. And it's the March Madness apparel. And a lot of people buy hats, shirts, t-shirts, jerseys. And so that I think is something that's a really good item that might do well. Now you have to also remember that March Madness is it's not all year long, so your best time of selling things are going to be during this time. But it's good to have some sites like that, some that you can sell all year long, and some that maybe right around Christmas or Halloween, or what different times of the year. But this may be a good one if you may be interested in this. So after I found the March Madness apparel, my first thought is, what about selling it on Amazon, or what does Amazon have to sell? And if you're an affiliate, you can come over here. You can create a website or a page or a post that sells a particular product, and then you can send the people to Amazon. So here at Amazon, I'm just going to type in March Madness again. And immediately something that comes up, you can see the list here. There's t-shirts, and that's probably a pretty big item. Party supplies, shirts. I'm sure there's probably basketball hats in here. In fact, let me type that in real quick. I'll just type in hats or baseball caps. And you'll get several different items that come up here with the baseball caps. But the one thing that really caught my attention was March Madness shirt, and T-shirt would fall within that. So, and there's a lot of great looking shirts here. So I think this is a really good idea, and I see people buying T-shirts all the time for different sporting events. So now that I know this, the next thing I want to do is I want to go to Jaaxy, and Jaaxy is a keyword search tool. So if I want to sell something, the next thing I need to do is I need to look for a keyword phrase or a keyword, something that's going to grab people's attention when you're searching the internet. And if you can find a keyword phrase that isn't too competitive and not a lot of people are out there talking about it, it'll help you to get ranked higher in the search engines and give you a better chance of being able to sell a product. So right here, we're on the first page of Jaaxy, and I've got A typed in. That's not what I'm going to research here, but what I'm going to type right in here is March Madness, and we'll see what it returns. And it'll just take a few seconds here to come up with some options. So you see March Madness, just the word March Madness comes up with 336,000 average traffic. Then that's just not something I'm interested in at all. It's way too competitive. And in fact, it doesn't even do me any good to even put that in, as far as, because I need to put something in like about shirts that includes shirts. So that I'll look down through the list here. There's March Madness tickets. I don't sell tickets, so I'll look over here. There's related items on the right side. So you can look through here and get different ideas, but there's still really nothing that's jumping out to me. And once something does jump out to me, these numbers in these columns here are going to make a bigger difference. So I'm going to type in March Madness shirts, or let's see, I'll just type in March Madness shirts, see what happens. And it returns results really quick. Here's where it really comes home and it hits the jackpot for me, actually, because now it's got all kinds of different variations of words, different searches. There's T-shirts, spelled T-E-E, and then there's this one here, just T, which is probably the most common way to spell it. And there's there's tickets, there's basketball schedule, it doesn't really fit. On the right hand side here, again, there's brainstorming ideas, but it was automatically here when I typed this search in, it came up with March Madness T-shirt and T-shirts. This one here in NCAA, to me, that's adding in a little bit more words than I want. So here's March Madness shirts, and it has this average traffic is 139. Normally what I'm looking for is at least 50 on the average traffic and maybe 100 or more. But I don't want it to be in the thousands, because then that starts to get into real competitive numbers that I'm too new at online selling, marketing, that you'd never see me in a search. The other thing I want to look for here is I want a low QSR. I want something that is definitely below 100, and several of these fit the bill here. But I'm also looking for an SEO of preferably over 90, and it only goes up to 100. Well, this one here is sitting at 98, so this fits the bill perfectly. So what I'm going to do, since I've found a really good keyword phrase, is this is what I'll use in my title. So Jaaxy is a great place to look up all kinds of keyword searches, keyword phrases. So to wrap this up, we're going to jump over to Wealthy Affiliate real quick. If you haven't created a website, this is a great place to learn how to do it. I started out a couple months ago, about 3 months ago, as a complete skeptic, and I thought this was a scam. My son came to me and was telling me about this great opportunity, and I was like, don't buy anything, don't get it, don't get sucked into anything. And for about a week, I tried to tell him not to do it, and he kept wanting to do it. So then I took a look at it, and I started researching it. And so when I started researching it, the very first thing I did is I came over here to the Get Started tab, this green tab on the left. And when you click on this, you have 5 different courses. And this first course, Getting Started, is free. And it's there's a huge amount of things here that I don't want you to get too bogged down in here, but I just wanted to introduce it to you real quick. Lessons 1 through 10, and it helps you to set up a website, how to create your first content, and it's a really simple process to follow, and it works incredibly well. And I just loved it. I got hooked on it right here. The other thing, when you get through setting up your website in lesson 5, actually 4, you end up coming over here to this Rubik's, and here you have this site builder, and this is the first places you go to build your site. So enough about all that. That's as far as I want to take you today. There's the main thing I wanted to focus on with you was how to start a search for finding something that you want to sell. And then when you kind of have an idea, by starting with Google Trends and then going to Google Instant, and then you'll start to refine what you want to look at. And then once you find something, then you need to find the keyword phrase. And that's the main thing I wanted to show you today, was that process of walking through that. And if you can do that every time and you build your article based on a great keyword phrase, you're going to have a lot of success in this industry. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll have plenty of articles coming up later that'll go into greater detail on this, but thanks again and have a great day.